Wake up, it's time to wake up. Wake up, it's time to wake up. The alarm clock buzzed, the day has begun. It's time to wake up. Brush, 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 brush your teeth till your smile shines bright and your teeth get clean. Wash, 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 wash your face. Take your time, it's not a race. Wake up, it's time to wake up. Wake up, it's time to wake up. The alarm clock buzzed, the day has begun. It's time to wake up. Let's change our PJs. Find a clean shirt and pants, fresh clean socks, sharp new shoes, and now we're ready to dance. Wake up, it's time to wake up. Wake up, it's time to wake up. The alarm clock buzzed, the day has begun. It's time to wake up. We're hungry in the morning, so let's eat. See what mommy has made. Is it a bowl of cereal, fruit in a cup, or a giant plate of eggs? Wake up, it's time to wake up. Wake up, it's time to wake up. The alarm clock buzzed, the day has begun. It's time. Wake up, it's time to wake up. Wake up, it's time to wake up. The alarm clock buzzed, the day has begun. It's time to wake up. It's time to wake up.
Wake up, everybody. It's time to wake up. How are y'all doing today? Welcome. Happy Monday, sports and entertainment marketing people. How is your Monday going so far? Everybody still sleeping? Where y'all at?
I'm tired every time I join the class. So
now, Jonathan, you had enough time to get a little sleep this weekend. What's up with that?
it's just something your body can't control. If your internal clock is messed up, you can't really control it.
I know it. I know it. It's all good. It's all good. It is all good. I noticed that a little bit more participation on the email that I sent out on Friday. Not everybody, so I tried to do the attendance for Friday. Last night, but something was wrong with the Power School with my one earring on. Y'all forgive me. That what we used to do, a one earring. I have a special guest on here, and Mr. Tundra. I don't know if you remember. It used to be a thing. You had one big earring and one small earring.
Yeah. Yes.
And look, y'all, I had both my earrings on, and in the car, one of them fell off. I guess because the hook came off. So that's the story of my life. But I was saying also on Friday, y'all, I had a little bit more better participation as far as people responding back to the attendance email on Friday, but not everybody. I tried to do the attendance for Friday last night. It wouldn't let me, but in a few minutes, I'm going to do the attendance for Friday. Some of you going to be kind of absent. Hey, Felix, because I keep telling y'all on Fridays I send an email, but y'all won't respond back to the email. So don't get mad at me because you're going to be marked absent for last Friday, okay? I don't know how they're going to do it for this Friday. I'm still going to do attendance for this Friday, even though I guess everything's still going on. We're still in session. We just have the option, Mr. Tundra, maybe of either working here or working at home, but we still do the attendance and everything.
I'm working at home.
You're working at home, but we still have to do attendance for the kids, just like we normally do. I think. Okay.
I think so. I haven't heard.
Okay, so guys, make sure that on this Friday I have 100% participation. I would love to have that. So we have a special guest, Mr. Tondrel, and he is going to, I asked him if he was come and help our class get our resumes together. Some of us have, probably majority of us do not have a resume, and we think a resume is something way on down the line. Even if you are a freshman, you need a resume, and Mr. Tondrel is going to tell you what a resume is, what it consists of, and I'm going to let him have the floor and let him introduce himself to you. I do ask that you stay on mute. You can keep your cameras off. If you have any questions, put it in the chat, and we do encourage you to ask questions. And y'all need to wake up, like the song told you. All right, Mr. Tondrel.
Thank you, Ms. Hargrave. Good morning, guys. I'm Mr. Tondrel. I am the career development coordinator here at school. And a little bit about what I do real quick is I help lots of different ways. I help students with career choices, help you get jobs, help you get apprenticeships. Hopefully we'll get internships going again. We used to do that. That's where you go out and for a class period and you get to work with employer of some kind, for your hour and a half that day. So that's one of the things that we do. I help kids get into community college classes. That's called the dual enrollment stuff. That's where you get credit for going to the college and get credit for being a student here at Lexington. So that's one of the things I do. I help kids get into technical schools and like, for instance, I help kids just whatever they need to follow their career path. Even if that includes going to a 4-year school. You want to go to like Appalachian or North Carolina State or something like that, I help with that too, to some extent. Then, so we do a lot with that. And the other thing I help with is what I'm going to talk to y'all today about is just a little short thing on resumes. Because part of getting a job and a career is being able to get the job to start with. And resumes are one of those standard items that everybody needs. And you really need to start working on now because you need to update it at least once a year. You need to, and you don't need to wait around. The worst thing in the world is to sit there, find out there's a job and it's going to close tomorrow, for instance, and you've got to upload a resume and you don't even have one. That is the worst thing. Okay. And that happens to people all the time because then you have to go back and you have to make it sound good because essentially what a resume is, it is a piece of paper with, that is a snapshot of who you are as a possible employee for someone someday. And that's how they're going to initially judge you. And I'm going to say judge because that's exactly what's going on. They initially judge you based on what you put down there. And what you put down there needs to sell you, use a marketing term. You need to sell yourself and who you are to that possible employer. So that way you can get a interview. So that's what a resume is. It's like a brochure. It's like a pamphlet. It's a flyer. It's a little short commercial about who you are and you need an interview. That's what you're trying to do. Okay. So just a few little pointers. Like I said, you need to update yours once a year. And like, if you are a freshman, I don't know if you got any freshmen in here, but freshmen, you need to go ahead and start on one because you just never know. You don't want to forget the good things that you've done in your high school career that can help you look good for getting a job someday. Okay. So whenever you make a resume, you're going to have your accomplishments on there. You're going to have your work ethic, what you're good at working with. You're going to have your skills on there. You're going to have your education on there. Okay. So how do you get started on one? I think Miss Hargrave probably give you some pointers on that, but one of the easiest things to do is look at examples online, look at how other people have done their resumes, and you can also use templates like on Microsoft Word. There's a lot of good templates out there that get you started on a resume. Just something generic to start off with. Now, whenever you do it, you need to make sure it looks professional. So you want to use very professional font. You want to use professional margins. That's why I suggest you use a template to start with. Until you get good at it and you want to make your own resume and you want to just dress it up however. But you want to start off with that. You want to figure out what is the most important information about you, because that's what you want to put first. If you want to lead off with your education and you want to put down all the certifications you've gotten in your CTE classes here, then that would be what you would want to start off with. You want to put on there with your education, you want to put down that you're a graduate or a current student of Lexington High School. You want to put on, if you have a good GPA, you definitely want to put your GPA on there. If you have a 1.0, you don't want to put that, because that makes you look like you're not a good student. So you wouldn't want to put that, but you want to put down any certifications you have. Like if you've taken Microsoft classes and gotten the certification, you need to put that, because that's a big deal, especially in the business world, because a lot of businesses, I know Wake Health, they were paying for their people to get Microsoft certified, paying for it to happen. And if you come in and you're already Microsoft certified, that gives you a leg up on everybody else, because they don't have to train you. That makes you look like you're already ready for the job. Even if you have that certification and you don't need it, it makes you look like you are a trainable person. It makes you look like you enjoy learning, and you can get certified in different areas. So that's another thing. They want people that are going to learn and that want to learn at their job, because every job you go to, there is a lot of on-the-job training with it. Nothing really, very little very little jobs you can learn completely at school. There's very few. Basically at school, you learn skills and you learn how to learn, and that helps you when you go on the job, because there's nothing to get you ready for that. But if you don't have those basic skills, if you don't have that willingness and that ability to learn, then you're going to struggle. And that's what you want to make your resume look like you're willing to learn. Even if you don't have a good GPA, put on there the highlights of your education. Okay. The other thing you're going to want to put on there is your accomplishments. If anytime you have ever been honored for anything, especially at y'all's age, you want to put on there. That's why I say that you need to start off now, because you might forget certain things you've been honored for. If you've been team captain of the volleyball team, you want to put that on there. If you, even if you are just the captain of the offensive line for the football team, put that on there. I mean, different things that show that you can have leadership, that you have went above and beyond in any way. Okay. Another thing you need to put on there is you need to put on there your work experience or your skills. A lot of you won't have work experience because you just started, but what are you good at? What are you good at school? You want to look at the things that, like, all of you should be good at virtual meetings, virtual learning right now. That would be one thing that you would want to talk about. You want to put like your expertise in emailing and keeping up with your email. That's a big adult thing to do, is keep up with emails and return emails. And if you would want to put that on there for sure. Like I said, the virtual learning, doing that, working as a team. Anytime that you work in a group, if you want to put that on there, extent that you're able to work as a team and work in a group, because every job you go to, you're going to have to work as a team or in a group. Even if you're just going to get a job at McDonald's, which that's where I started off at whenever I was 16 years old. I worked at the one on Highway 8, Cotton Grove Road. And I worked there for 4 or 5 years. But what I had to work as a team. I had to work with the frontline people. I had to work with the other people in the grill. I had to work with the truck driver that brought brought all the food that we cooked. I had to work with the shift manager. I had to work with customers. So you want to put on there all the skills that you have developed, working with people. Your customer service is big. Even if you haven't been out on a job, what experience do you have with customers? Like, have you answered the phone at church sometime? You helped out people at church? Have you helped out people through clubs here at school? What can you translate from your life into customer service? Helping people around the neighborhood. If you go around and help, maybe you got some elderly folks that needed some work done at their house. And I mean, little things like that. I mean, put it on there. Put it on there, because that makes you look like you are somebody that they want to hire. Whenever you put all this stuff on a resume, whenever you make that list of all these things that you've done, and it'll take you a while, but you just think about it. You think about all the good that you've done in your life so far, and you put it down. You're going to want to, whenever you actually put it on that resume, you're going to want to make sure you use active words, or what I like to call power words, like that make it seem like, for instance, helping your neighbor. You wouldn't put helped neighbor. You would want to put something to the extent of you volunteered to help neighbors in need, or something like that. That makes it sound, it's more active, more powerful, like you did something, which you did do something. I mean, because not everybody helps their neighbors out. I mean, that's just the fact of life. People are not, they don't always help. If you, your GPA is a 4.0, don't just say 4.0 GPA. You earned a 4.0 GPA, taking honors and APs and strong CTE pathway in marketing. You want to make yourself sound like you really worked at this and you really earned it. Those words call attention to you. Use those power words. And again, you want to call attention to yourself, because this is an advertisement. You think about, like, football started, NFL football started. This is a sports class. They don't just get on that commercial and say, football's starting, y'all watch. They don't say that. They play a song. They make you feel like you need to be involved. You need to watch that. It's part of your life. They try to really bring you into it. And that's what you want to do on this resume. You want it to, like, just be exciting. Like, I really want to meet Miss Hargrave. She sounds like just a phenomenal teacher. Look at her resume. That's what you want to do. But I get excited listening to Miss Hargrave talk. But she got some passion, and that's what you need. You need passion in your resume. You want them to be able to see that through your words. If you use a template or something like that, and it's got headings on there, like, let's say it says work experience, and you've never worked, you don't leave it blank. Do not leave that blank. You might want to change that to something else, like job skills, and then you put down all the skills that you have that can be translated into a job. But don't ever leave that blank, because it makes it look like you didn't put a lot of thought in it, or you don't have any skills. Okay. You want to make sure you proofread it, get it edited. And if you're not good at spelling, don't proofread it yourself. Get somebody that is good at spelling. Get your English teacher. Get somebody to look it over. It won't take them long, and get them to offer you some constructive criticism. Because a lot of times we don't see the mistakes that we make, and a lot of times we write like we talk. And writing like you talk is okay if you're talking to your friends, but if you are applying for a job, you want to sound like you've got a good education, and you've put a lot of thought into this, and you want it to seem like you proofread it, and it follows, makes grammatical sense and stuff like that. So that is very important. Anytime you correspond with an employer, or once you get a job with employees, you want to proofread what you send out so it sounds good. Okay. Let's see. I know a lot of you probably saying, I don't have any experience at the job. I'd like to accent this again. If you've babysat for people, that shows that you have responsibility and leadership. If you have mowed grass for people, that shows that you have a work ethic. Okay. And you put all that stuff. If you have been part of clubs or sports here at school, sports, that shows that you work in a team. You are willing to work. And I know these sports like football and volleyball. I know I've seen those girls out there. I know the guys have been out there doing workouts for football. That shows a tremendous work ethic if you're willing to do those things. So make sure you make that sound, just spin it from a business standpoint. Talk about how you led workouts for the coach, because the coach was working on things. Put led workouts during volleyball, because that makes you seem like a leader. Put on there that you had perfect attendance at practices. You'd show up 15, 20 minutes early to practices, because that makes, if you're punctual, that's huge right there. Because employers, they don't want somebody going to show up 30 minutes, an hour, just whenever they feel like it. They don't want people like that. I'll use McDonald's as an example. McDonald's, whenever I was there, we opened at 6 o'clock in the morning on Saturday and Sunday mornings. They didn't want me to show up at 6:30 or 7 o'clock, because there were already people in the drive-through at 6. They were in the drive-through at 10 to 6 waiting on their ham, egg, and cheese. Every Saturday and Sunday. I don't know how they didn't weigh 700-800 pounds, because they ate that biscuit every day. But but if I hadn't been there, I would have got fired. And that job at McDonald's, that paid for my car. I didn't have nothing nice, but it paid for it, and it got me through life, got me a good work ethic. So you definitely want to talk about that stuff. If you don't have a job right now, talk about when you volunteered. I already mentioned like helping neighbors. You need to put that stuff down, because volunteer work that you didn't have to do, it makes you sound good. You didn't have to do it, but you just did it because you're a good person. Once you have a resume, okay, and you're applying for a specific job, okay, you want to align your resume with that job. That's very important. So what I'm saying with that is, like, let's say you make a generic resume, for any job out there. All right. And it just so happens that you are trying to get a job. Let's say, we'll just use McDonald's again. They need a cook. And you might say, wow, I got to turn in a resume for that. Well, turn in a resume for that, because it's going to make you look like you want a job more than the other guys, for one. But whenever you have that resume, you're going to want to put on there a couple things that show that you have experience, or you have skills that can be applied to cooking. Okay. Same goes for, like, for instance, teaching. If I pulled up my resume right now, that I sent to Lexington City Schools for this job I have now, everything on my resume everything has to do with school, students, and how I helped students and how I learned things that apply to a school, and helping teachers and helping the principal. Everything on there has to do with it. Absolutely everything, because that's the job I'm applying for. If I'm trying to apply for a job at Walmart and I want to be a manager, I'm gonna change a lot of that stuff to sound like, you know, I managed students. I'm not going to talk about helping students, because that's not the job I'm applying for. I'm talking about a managing job. So anytime that I led a group, I worked with people with difficult attitudes, stuff like that, I'm going to want to focus on that, because I'm trying to be a manager. And then I'm also going to focus on the customer service side of it. What did I do for my customer? And I would consider students my customer in my resume. So that's how you would change that up. So make sure that that's something that you consider once you get to that point in your life where you are applying for different jobs. There are certain things you change around to fit with that job. Talk about your income. No, you don't have to talk about your income on a resume unless they specifically ask you. I've never actually put my income on a resume before. I know a lot of people used to, but I think a lot of times that it can weed you out by accident, and you don't really want to do that. Like at McDonald's, for instance, if you put down that you made $12 an hour mowing yards, and they're going to pay 10, they might be like, oh, don't talk to him, he's going to want 12, so you don't want to weed yourself out by accident. That's a good question, though. Anybody else? That's just a quick little overview on doing a resume. I think it'll get you started on one. But like I said, you need one, and you need to hang on to it, because I know from experience I had not updated my resume, and then I saw that Lexington Senior High needed a career development counselor, and so I had to put one together. So I know from experience I should have been updating that thing. Definitely want to do that. How long should it be, Ms. Hargrave? Ideally, you want your resume to be one page. Ideally, you want it to fit on one page. If y'all aren't going to have a lot, so you're going to want to spread it out a little bit and make it look pretty. You don't want it all on the top half. You don't want it. You want to, figure out a font that makes it look pretty, put some space in between it. You want it to fill up a page, okay? That's what you're going to want to do, fill up a page. If you have a bunch of stuff, which maybe you guys someday, my resume was actually 2 pages because I wanted to cover lots of different things, and I wanted to show how much experience I have, and I think that is okay. You're not going to find a lot out there on the internet about that. But sometimes I think if you've got a lot of experience, you can go past a page. I wouldn't go past 2, though. But most of y'all going to want to fill up a page in some way, shape, or form. Even if you have to go with 1.5-inch margins, I don't know. You make it look good, but fill up that page. Even if your name's got to be a little bit bigger. Do what you got to do. Okay. Let's see. When would you like to have an information ready? I don't know, Miss Hargrave. I hadn't really thought about that. What are your thoughts on that, Miss Hargrave? Because I know your Microsoft class, I'm meeting with them individually. Okay. Yeah, we could do that. Let me write that down. Yeah, what I'd like to do is y'all come up with a resume, and I'd like to look over those and meet with y'all about them and try to give you some pointers on them. So maybe Thursday of next week sounds great to me. What did I tell you, Microsoft class? I forgot what I told him.
You know what? I don't know. I don't know. I can't remember. But I don't know if we actually set a day, and we
Okay.
may if you want to, we may can scale that back until next week. Maybe me and you will get together and you tell me what works for your schedule
Okay.
and your other obligations that you have.
Okay.
So and we can get together. But I would like, let me see, by at least before, say about October 15th, I would like all my classes to have a resume in place. So they can have a resume, and so we can showcase it, let the other people in the school, and let them know what we're doing and how great our students are. And there's anybody who wants to do an internship, I think they should offer. I know I used to do internship, which was off campus, and I did some that was on campus. But I think they should go back to some of the students should be able to do internships.
I think so too.
Do job shadowing so they can see what the real world is like. I think that would be great, and maybe we can get together and get something going. I think that'd be great.
I think so too.
Yeah, let's get together. And I'm not interrupting you. You just go ahead. Is there anything else that you would like to add? Continue to talk about. I'll be quiet.
No. I think that's a good start for them. I think, and just really probably where they get where we need to go now is they come up with a rough draft and just we'll give them some pointers on that and try to get a resume they're proud of.
Okay, that sounds good. Okay. Does anybody else have a question or questions for Mr. Tunjel? Does anybody have any questions? And well, if nobody has any questions, maybe if you have questions later, you can run them by me, or either we can email them to Mr. Tunjel. I would like to say that I greatly appreciate you coming into my classes. It's been really great, and it's been a breath of fresh air. Yeah, because we need to learn to do to change things up. If 2020 has taught us nothing at all, it's taught us to change things up, to do things differently. Me and Mr. Tunjel are not old. We're very young. So don't think that. But I think that when we were in the grades that you guys are in now, I probably never heard of a resume. I was like, what is a resume? Because I didn't think resume probably didn't come into play for me probably until I was in maybe my late 20s, early 30s. A resume, because we always thought a resume was something even after you got out of college, that was, just get the job first. That was the thing, get the job. So now we are wanting to equip you guys with starting early, building your resume. It doesn't matter if you own a lawn care business. There is some great money in that. That shows that you are a entrepreneur, that you're a leader, that you're also a team player. It shows the people by you having a resume, having certifications, and you go to apply for a job. If you have a certification in a certain area that job is looking for, you could outbid me for the job. And I may have more education, but I don't have that certification. So there's certain things, that they're going to look at. Don't think just because you're in high school, I just ran you ran a babysitting service. Well, you're going to have a name for it. You're going to say that that you were responsible for a certain amount of kids, and you helped them with their homework. You assisted them with their education. So it's all kinds of things that you can hype up, because if you look at it, it's about he used power words. You want to use power words so you'll get noticed. And I want you guys to start now to get ready for whatever you want to do, whether it's starting your own business after high school, going to college. Even going to college now, they look at your portfolio. They want to know how many volunteer hours you have. So guys, if you have not volunteered or never thought of it, you need to start volunteering, whether it's at the homeless shelter, starting a reading group at your church. And you think, okay, well, we're not going to church right now. Okay, you can still do Google Meet. You can do a reading class online with some kids. Start that right now. So because your colleges look at what you volunteer. If you don't have a lot of volunteer hours, Carolina, all those other places, you can have your grades can be excellent. But if you don't have those volunteer hours, they push your application to the side and get somebody who's had volunteer hours. So me and Mr. Tundra want you guys to be equipped for the world. Whatever you choose to do, when you come out of Lexington Senior High School, you're going to be great. So we want people to know that just because we're Lexington, people think we're a small town. There's some great people that have come from Lexington. Me and Mr. Tundra are examples.
Amen.
So are you from Lexington?
Yes, ma'am.
So
I was born in Pittsburgh, but I moved to Lexington when I was 4 years old.
So you went to Lexington City Schools, or where did you?
I actually went to Central Davidson.
Oh, you went to? I'm not gonna hold that against you because I have relatives who went to Central. I actually have a cousin who went to Central, and he was a superintendent of is it Scott? I have to think of the name of the county, a big county here in North Carolina. He was a superintendent. He just resigned. I think at the beginning of school year because he said he's going to do something different, but he went to Central. He was a Hargrave. Ronald Hargrave. I don't know if you know Ronald. Jeff.
Oh, there was a bunch of Hargraves at Central.
Yeah. So we are products of Lexington. We are products of Davidson County. And to let you know that it doesn't, I mean, I love where I'm from and I would never downplay it for anybody. Wherever I go, I let you know I'm from Lexington. You know, I am from Lexington, home of barbecue, home of the furniture industry. So, but we want you guys to be equipped, to be ready. So, Mr. Tundra, I'm not gonna hold him up any longer because I could go on and on. But he's gonna come back and he's gonna work with us, and we're gonna have you a portfolio, and your parents are gonna be like, "Wow, this is my kid. Look at their resume." And they're gonna be proud of you and proud for you. So.
That's right.
I thank you, Mr. Tundra. I'm so excited. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
All right. You have a great day.
Yep. See y'all soon.
All right. Bye-bye. All right, everybody. Thank you for listening attentively. I hope that all you guys were listening. And Felix, thank you for your questions. Guys, break out of your shell. When we have speakers, ask some questions. Ask, whatever you're feeling. Just ask them as long as it is appropriate. Also, be attentive. And I want you guys to be ready for the real world because we are a business class, because sports, entertainment, marketing, there's so many careers that you can do. So I do want you to be ready and have the opportunity to get the jobs or whatever you want to do in life. I want you to be able to do whatever you want to do. Also, I want us to make sure, guys, every Friday, I tell y'all this every day, but every Friday I send out a attendance email. It says Attendance Friday. And I had more of a response this time. I didn't have a response from everybody. This Friday coming up, I would love to have a 100% participation for everybody to participate, okay? So I would love for you guys to participate. I also want to say let me go into my other computer here. If you have not completed your test, I put the test code in announcements. So please make sure that you go to that. Make sure you do your test. Make sure you turn in your study guide via email. If you want to type it up, put it on Google Docs. So if you screenshot a picture of your whole completed study guide, give me all the sheets. Turn that in. Guys, make sure now I have provided everybody a folder in your drive. Everybody has a folder. I sent everybody an invite. Inviting you to collaborate. That means for you to put all your information, all your documents in your own personal folder. That way I won't have to filter out going through the email because I get a lot of emails. But if you still send it through email, I'll do my best to check it. But I do want y'all guys to put everything from now on in those folders, okay? That's why I created those folders. It'll help me out tremendously. Also, going back to Mr. Tundra and the resumes. I want you guys to start today to start putting down your work ethics. Some of you have jobs. Put down, where you work at, when you start, what are your duties. Also put your skills, what are you good at. It may not be necessarily that you have to went to school or had some training. A lot of us have skills. We're artists. We're cooks. We learn this by hand. We learn this from others, but you don't necessarily have to have an education. Let me know what you're good at. Let me know your education. Let me know what sports you're involved in. Let me know the awards that you won for whatever sport that you are participating in. Let me know, like you said, if you're a captain or whatever, put that all down. So I want y'all to start working on that. By next Thursday, I want everybody to have all their information down. If you need to ask your parents or something for some certain information, and also we'll go over some. I'll show you some sample resumes for high school, because it is something different that you have not done. So actually, and like you said, put down that you experience in attending and also hosting virtual meetings, because when you do presentations, you also hosting that virtual meeting. So also put that you're good at presentations, because you all are. Put that your accomplishments, maybe you're in the honor society or club or whatever, please put that down on your resume, okay? I also want us to go back and recap a little bit from last week. I like to go back and recap from last week or the prior week on Mondays, so you don't forget, so you kind of know what we did before, so it will help you with the flow of this week. But before we do the recap, I got an email. How many of you have Microsoft? If you have Chromebooks, or if you don't have Chromebooks, how many I know do or don't have Microsoft Office? Because I'm going to post a link in announcements, hopefully in the next hour or so, where you can download, I think it's called Microsoft Office 365. You'll be able to have Word, PowerPoint. You can have all this. I know it works with Chromebook. If it doesn't do it if you have another laptop or computer that's not a Chromebook, let me know and I'll see about getting you the link. But this link may work as well, where you can have the features of Word. You can use Word, Microsoft, PowerPoint, all Excel. You'll have that, okay? So I'll put the link up in announcements. Also, make sure, again, that you have done your test. Please make sure that you've done your test. I am going to, if I can, we're going to do a recap of the prior week, because I always want you guys to know what's happening, what's going on. Bear with me a moment. Okay. I always like for us to do a recap, and I call it recap because it is what stood out. It's what I consider, what stood out from the week before. So we'll, kind of understanding what we did last week, which will flow into this week. Last week, we learned about how to employ product mix strategies to meet customers' expectations. We learned that about the elements of the sport event product. We know that sports products, which are a good, a service, or any combination of the two, it is designed to provide benefits to the sports spectator, the participant, or sponsor. Goods, which are tangible physical products that offer benefits to customers, stuff that we can see, touch. We also learned about the categories of sport event products. We learned that intangible is an experience that you can see, and intangible, excuse me. I think I said tangible. It was something you can feel. Intangible is what you can see and what you can feel and participate in. Anything that is perishable, it is called a perishable experience. Like a football game that you play, you would never play that game again. We have sports events, ones in which we participate, ones in which we just watch or hear, either in person or on TV, the radio, and the internet. We have athletes. Some are what we call professional. They earn their income from the performance on the field or whatever sport they're playing. Then we have your amateurs. They perform these sports for their enjoyment. A lot of them are very good. A lot of amateur athletes are very good. They just choose not to be professional, or oftentimes I feel, just to be honest, they have been overlooked. We have a lot of talented people in sports, but oftentimes they're overlooked. And that is a shame. But then some people just like, they don't want to do it professionally. You have what you call, we learn venues. A lot of times when we go to weddings, different birthday parties, they're held at a venue. We just normally say location. So a venue is a proper word. It can mean a single purpose, host only one sports team, or multi-purpose. They have more than one sports team or more than one events. A lot of the stadiums that we go to see football games or arenas where we go see basketball games, they're just that. They host either one sport. But then we at some of the arenas, like in Charlotte, they not only host the basketball team, but they hold. You often go there for. I've been there for basketball games and also concerts. So we learn the athletes make the game happen. The facility also has a play in how well the sports event is. We learned that there are unique characteristics of sport event products, dealing with the quality of the product. We talked about the performance, serviceability, features, durability, reliability, and design. We also talked about the quality of service. Is it reliable? Is it tangible? Is it assurance that it's, is it trustworthy? Is it responsiveness? Are the employees helpful and prompt? Empathy. How much individual attention will I receive from the service provider? We also talked about the occupation. So I wanted to go over the recap. Also, if you guys right now, before we go any further, if you would go into quizzes, do the attendance quiz. It says attendance quiz 921. So please do the attendance quiz. I need everybody that is on here to do the attendance quiz. It's not an option, it is a requirement. So please do the attendance quiz for today. Okay, and what we're going to do today, because I think that we've heard a lot today, and I thank you for being attentive. I hope that everybody was attentive. I want to make sure that you begin today gathering your information, because you are going to start building your resume. So my deadline that I want to have everybody's resume done is October 15th, and you're going to have some nice resumes put together. So after you do the attendance quiz, if you have not done the test, make sure you do the test. Go in announcements, find out what the test code is, do the test, and also turn in your study guide. We will come back together tomorrow and do the other stuff that I was going to do today. I think that we've done enough for today. I think that you guys have done a great job. Please make sure that you have done the attendance for today. All right, please make sure you do the attendance quiz for the day, and then also you start working on your resume building. So make sure you get that done. I'm going to release you as of now. You guys have a great remainder of your Monday, okay? Felix, you said, do we need to write what? Felix, what you talking about? On your resume, write it out so you'll have it. That way, when you meet with Mr. Tundra, I want you to write it out, be able to send it to us so we can look at it. But I also want you to write it out and make sure you have it somewhere on your computer. All right, you have a great day too, Felix. Everybody have a good day. Bye, Abby. Have a good day, everybody. Jonathan, you take it easy. Bye, Shamil. Bye, everybody.